Hi there folks, Neil Morrison from Kamikaze. Welcome to this week's edition of Catch and Cook. This week I'm in sunny Paynesville. Well, it's not sunny, but it will be soon. The forecast is pretty good. I'm here with my wife Gail, and from some of the mates have been telling me that the fish are absolutely stacked up down here. It's very, very early springtime, and the tailor, ludwig, some trevally, and a lot of small bream are stacked up here, getting ready to spawn, the bream are in particular. But the tailor in particular are really, really thick. We're going to show you just how thick. Just bung that lure out for a second, huh? Now Gail's got a little silver wonder, or a little lure on, a little Kamikaze. These fish are really thick. I'll show you the sounder in a minute, and it is blacked out with these fish. It's a simple case of throwing the lure out. I can see the fish are hitting it now. Go a little bit quicker though. And she's on. It's that easy. These fish are wonderful if you've got kids, and especially kids that get bored, like me. We'll drag this one in and just give you an idea how big they are. They're not huge fish.
Oh, sorry.
Not huge by any means, but a lot of fun. Really got some wicked teeth on them, these guys, so be careful getting them out. And like I say, these fish are spawning at the moment. There are just millions and millions of them here. We're going to have a bit of fun, try and catch a few. They are delicious eating when they're fresh, not that good when they're frozen. In fact, pretty damn ordinary. Make wonderful fish cakes, and that's what we're going to keep a couple for fish cakes. So follow us along. Paynesville, East Gippsland, beautiful day, springtime. Let's see what we can catch. Now folks, I know that the bream and the mullet are underneath these tailor schools. In the last few minutes off camera, I don't know how many we've caught. Another one coming in now. It's a fisher cast, and they're here usually around September, October. I kind of want to catch a decent bream underneath them. I'd settle for some nice mullet. I like big yellow eye mullet. They are beautiful tasting fish. But these things are a lot of fun, so we'll waste a few hours just playing with them. And there's some nice fish among them. Another one coming in. That feels a bit bigger. I'm using a plastic, Gal's using a little silver waddler. I think I've jagged this one. She's going round and round in circles. Yep, I have. And what I was saying about the mullet schools, that's one of them.
Look at him out.
They are that thick down there, my lure's gone between them. I can feel them running into it. That's only a little fella, he can go back, hooked rather heavily. And I'll have to get that one out. Little yellow eye mullet, that's a baby. There's some big, big ones down there. He can go back. But that's what the tailor are here eating. They're eating the small guys, and they're really hitting them hard. There's quite a few fish busting up on the surface behind us. I'll get that one off in a second. A lot of fun. Bring the kids down and try it. And the big kids. Now folks, because I'm using such a light line, I was geared up for catching bream up at Bemm River recently. But because these tailor have incredible teeth, I'm going to go a lot different. I've done I use a uni knot to join leader to braid. I've quickly done that, I won't bore you with it. Google it on the system and you'll see how that one works. I favour it, it's very quick and very easy. Now, I mentioned before the little lures we use. That's the little guy from Kamikaze. Nice and small. Tailor absolutely adore them. I'll just take that bit of line off. I tend to recycle them over and over again. Again, for me it's a uni knot. It's quick and easy, through the eye, when you can see what you're doing. Getting older, eyesight's not as good as it used to be. You can probably see that big mark on my head there. I walked into something yesterday, it hurt. Anyway, so uni knot, like I say, Google it, I'll tie it quickly. Always wet it. Cut off the ends. Now I use about a rod length of leader, but like I say, this is 20 pound. I wouldn't normally use that on anything else but say flathead, decent sized flathead. I'm usually around 6 pound or 4 pound for brim. Probably the majority of my time is 8 pound because I'm fishing heavy timber. Out here, these tailor will often come up and hit the lure above it or take it out of another tailor's mouth, and you lose a lot of lures. We've been lucky so far, it hasn't happened, but Gail's all set and ready to go. Let's get back into it. I don't know whether you can see that, folks, but there's a mob of seals just moved in, and they're attacking all the schools of fish. That'll make it a little bit hard for us, I would think. And there's probably half a dozen of them playing out the back of the boat here and getting into the mullet schools. Birds are working all around us here. It's all happening. Well folks, since we went and had a cup of coffee and something to eat, the sun's finally come out a little bit. It's got nice and warm. The seals have absolutely pounded those schools of fish, and now we can't find them. We know they're here. There's a few coming up on the sounder, but they've gone really quiet. We may have to shift a bit. We'll persevere for a few minutes. See if we can find a few. Well folks, time for us to go home. The weather, as usual, has changed for the worse. It's got cold, a bit windy, and a bit miserable. Now if you happen to be down at Painesville this time of the year, around the springtime, you'll see sights like this. Grumpy swans. She's sitting on a nest of 4 or 5 eggs, and all along the shoreline here you'll see swans like this nesting. Wonderful place. I'm surprised that the local dog population doesn't give them a bit of a hard time, but they're pretty feisty sort of animals. So I won't get her up and show you the eggs, but give it another couple of weeks and they'll have little ones running around. Cute to watch, really interesting. So Painesville, springtime. We caught some nice fish, but nothing real big. But as always, next time. I'm Neil Morrison from Kamikaze. See you next time. Bye.